Today we're going to do, and I forget what part it is, but never mind, in my facing life's challenges. It's alright, there's a van trying to go in over there and he's not doing it right. Anyway, not my concern. It's what you do when you caravan. You watch other people reverse in and try not to do the same things. Anyway, I'm filming this on my laptop, so hopefully the picture quality is okay. Now the life challenge, I couldn't decide which was more important in terms of stress and everything else. And so this one I decided I would do it on my breast cancer. As some of you know, and some of you may not know, in 2016 I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. Now, it started off with a letter from the government saying you're over, over 60, so therefore you need now to have a free breast scan. Okay, I went. I wasn't going to, I must say I wasn't going to, but I used to lay in bed, I would lay in bed and I could feel on my right breast a lump about the size of a pea. He got it. And I just said, doesn't matter. But when I got the letter, I thought, what have I got to lose? As it turned out, it was almost my breast, but didn't know that then. So I made the appointment and went for the breast scan, and I had it. And 2 weeks later I get another letter saying that I need to go to the breast cancer clinic at St Vincent's Hospital in Melbourne. Okay, I lived in Melbourne at that stage. So I did that. I went and had another mammogram. I hate them. Anyway, they're painful. It's like you get your boob and press it together with 2 bricks. I went and I had it done. I had the mammogram. Then they wanted to do biopsies because they found not only the lump that I'd been playing with, but another lump on the other side. So we got 3 o'clock on the right breast and 3 o'clock on the left breast. So they did the biopsies, and I had to go back again. And the surgeon said, well, it appears that you have stage 2 breast cancer in your right breast and a lump in the left breast. I can't remember what it's called. Carcinoma in situ, which means that it's contained within a cell, so it hadn't yet developed into full-blown breast cancer like the other one had. So that was okay. I went home. At that stage, when he told me, Jeff was there, my sister was there, and a friend was there. And the doctor told me, and I sort of didn't have, and a nurse, there was a nurse there as well. I didn't really have any reaction. My reaction was, well, okay, I've got this, so what are we going to do to fix it? Let's just fix it. At no stage did I feel upset. Did I feel I was going to die? No, I'm sorry for saying that a lot. At no stage did I feel my life was threatened. I looked at my sister, she was upset. I looked at my friend, she was upset. And I looked at Jeff and I could see in his eyes he was upset. And I didn't understand, why are they so upset? There's nothing to be upset about. It can be fixed. So I went home, they gave me a bag with all the information in it and, you know, how to deal with everything, and a diary if I needed a diary. And I went, why? I don't need a diary. They're going to fix it. So then I got another letter. Now I was diagnosed on the Thursday and I was in for the operation on the following Tuesday. I thought, well, that's quick. Still never thought anything about it. Go in, have no, before I have the needle, I have to go, before I have the operation, I have to tell you, they had to inject my breasts, both breasts, with this radiation, it's a nuclear thing that lights up where they've got to operate. If I tell you that was the worst needle I've ever had in my life, that would be an understatement. The nurse even told me, look, you can scream if you want. I thought, no, not going to scream. She said, well, I'll hold your hand. So she held my hand, and I'm sure she must be so used to people squeezing the blood out of the end of her fingers from squeezing her hand so tight. And I know, I did squeeze her hand tightly, but I didn't scream. I did make a few noises, but it wasn't a scream. It was more like... So that they did another scan to make sure that they'd ejected it in the right spot. So then I go in on the Tuesday. It was supposed to be just a day. I was supposed to be in there just for a day. I go in there, they tell me I'm first up. No, I wasn't. They had to do a double mastectomy before me, and that held it up for a couple of hours. So I just waited in the waiting area, all ready to do the op, and laying in the bed, I went to sleep, as you do while you're waiting to have an operation on breast cancer. And they took me into the theatre, and I met the anaesthetist, and he gave me some calming injection. He put the cannula in, ready. Now he put it in here. Now usually that would hurt like blazes. It would be like putting it in your bone. But it didn't hurt. Eventually the surgeon came in and they took me in. Next thing I know, I'm waking up. I said hello to everybody in the theatre before I went to sleep. And then they took me to a ward after that where I slept a lot longer. And it turned out that the lump, they did a lumpectomy, not a mastectomy. They took out the lump. They said they got it all. They looked at the other one and couldn't find it. It was gone. I don't know where it went. So it must have gone somewhere else. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know where it went. So that was okay. I spent 2 days in hospital, recovering. And then I went home and went to bed at home. Then I get another letter asking me to go to the Austin Hospital in Melbourne to make an appointment. They've made an appointment for me to go to the Austin Hospital, and at the Austin Hospital, I was to have radiation therapy as opposed to chemotherapy. They decided that radiation therapy was the best for me. Now, what radiation therapy means is they actually cook your breast very slowly over a period of 6 weeks. 5 days a week I had to go for radiation therapy. I was driven a few times by my sister and a friend, but most of the time I drove myself. Never even thought about it. Got to go for radiation therapy? Okay, let's go. So I go, they tattoo me with little spots, little tiny, like freckles, where they've got to do the radiation. So that was okay. I go there. After about the 4th week, I was starting to feel like I was burning, and I was blistering and burning. So they have in the cancer unit, they have nurses there that make up or give you this cream to put on it. Now, you can't use deodorant when you're having radiation therapy, especially not if it contains aluminium. So I had to use natural deodorants. Probably not a bad idea, but there was one day there where it didn't work. And I put my arm up and I went, oh dear, how embarrassing. BO. I apologised profusely, and the radiation technician said, we're used to it. He said, we don't even notice anymore. I do. So, laying there with your hands above your head while they zap the breast with radiation. So the burning didn't go away, not immediately. It took quite some time for that to go away. It was sore, it was blistered, but I've been told by somebody that the radiation therapy, somebody that's had both chemotherapy and radiation therapy, that the radiation therapy was the worst. Because with chemotherapy, apparently, you do get sick and you do lose your hair, but the radiation therapy, you're burning. So I got burnt. So it took, my nipple was blue for probably a good 2 years after the radiation. And I didn't think I'd ever have normal boobs again. I mean, I don't. They took out not only the lump in here, which made my boob collapse a bit. I mean, I'm old. Of course, my boobs are sagging, but There's a big scar on the inside and under my arm where they took the lymph nodes out. I have a scar there as well. I have a tiny scar on the left where they had a look and went, not there, it's gone. So that's my story of dealing with breast cancer. Now my attitude going in was, let's fix it. And I guess that comes from having dealt with the issues with Erica and her cerebral palsy, Colin and his ADHD. You go through the stages of why me, why not me? That's my experience with breast cancer. And for anyone that's watching this that is going through that, have a positive attitude. Try not to think of the negatives of I'm going to die, because there's no guarantee you are going to die. I didn't. I caught it early enough. Get mammograms done regularly. If you feel a lump, do something about it. So that's my story of dealing with one of my life's challenges. In future, I have another one in mind, which will deal with my strokes. And I asked Jeff the other day, of the two, the strokes or the breast cancer, which one affected me the most. Keep an eye out for the next one, because that one did. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I have given hope, encouragement to anyone going through it at this time. Always bear in mind, and it's one of my mantras, you're never given anything that you can't handle. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the next one.